Here we're going to take a one-step slant. He's going to go all the way over the ball, and he'll settle right there. A 5'9" guy that ran 4.75 for the NFL Scouts, he could end up being the second leading receiver in the NFL.
University of Arizona.
For us, this has always been a big part of our passing game. You know, is the three-step stuff. And again, if you're going to, we throw the ball quite a bit, and so it's important to get the ball out of the quarterback's hand quickly. And so I think it's been something that's been a big part of ours, you know, of our offense, and it's almost, to us, three steps almost like a run play. You know, you hear people talk all the time about a screen being like a run play. You know, our three-step passes, we need to be proficient enough at those to where, you know, it's almost like a run play. You know, we need to be 80, 85, you know, percent of our completing 80 to 85% of our three-step passes is critical for us to be able to do that in a given year. Okay, and we run kind of 3 or 4 different three-step concepts. Okay, the first is a corner, and I'll take you through that. All right, we're going to run a 10-yard corner, and we're going to tell our guy here he's going to run at the front pylon if he's outside the 20, the back pylon if he's inside the 20. That's going to be his angle. Okay, so we want to give him a landmark, and we want to be able to throw the ball vertically to him. Okay, the quarterback will always throw him flat if he feels like he needs to do that. All right, we're going to run what we call a read slant out here. All right, now depending if we run it into the boundary, a lot of times it'll be a one-step slant. If we're to the field, it's going to be a slow three-step read slant. Okay, and all he's going to do now is read whoever he thinks is the flat player. Okay, or the hole player right here. If it's cover 2, he's going to read the hole player. All right. If it's quarters or something, now he's just going to go ahead and read this guy and ignore the corner. All right. So basically, he's going to read this man right here. All right. So he's going to make a determination. Is there enough grass to settle in the first hole? If there is, he's going to settle. The back's going to free release and run a swing route, so we have a 5-man protection. Okay. Backside, we're going to work double slants. Okay. The reason why we do that, we feel like it's good to throw those both versus man and zone. Okay. And you'll see us throw a lot of the backside slants. Really good too when people start playing kind of the match defense, where they're going to match their Mike backer to the side of the back. Okay. Because now you got 2 guys here to work off of 1. Okay, we throw slants into cover 2 all the time. We don't mind doing it. All right, because you'll see we settle our slants outside. Okay, so it's the same thing. We're going to teach our guys, be patient, vertical stem versus zone coverage. All right, push 3 steps and then look to settle the route if you're open. Okay, if it's man coverage now, you're going to have to run a 3-step slant versus man, stay on the run. Okay. And it's the same thing goes with those guys. And again, it's a concept that's hard for receivers to learn. Okay, they have to learn. It's the hardest thing to teach young guys. They have to learn when to get open. Okay, and that's the thing they all want to do. They all want to get open immediately. Okay, and they need to understand that the quarterback's got to catch the ball, take a drop, go through reads, and the quicker they get open, the quicker they're going to get covered. Okay. The longer they get covered, the quicker they can get open. Does that make sense? And so, and you'll see what I'm talking about on some of the tape here. We'll kind of talk about that. But that's the thing that you got to teach receivers. You got to tell them this. And I found the best way to tell those guys this is get covered early to get open late. Okay, and it's just like on the vertical concept. You see us throwing fades, and we practice a drill we call pat and go all the time. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to maximize space and get covered early, so when the quarterback throws the ball with air out here, I can separate late and catch it. Okay? When I catch the ball, I want to be the most open that I am during the route. So if I'm running a slant, let's say, and it's zone coverage, and I'm the outside receiver here, if I run a slant and it's cover 2, and I run in here as fast as I can, I stick my toe in the ground, I stay on the run, all right, I'm going to run myself right into the safety. Okay? Best case scenario. Worst case scenario, I'm going to run myself right into this guy who's going to kill me. Okay? So if I've got grass, what I want to do now is, let's say I'm running a slant here and the corner bails out, I push, I stick my toe in the ground, I'm looking for somebody coming to me because I know if he's off, somebody's working to me. There's going to be a flat player all the time. Okay? So now I got to make a determination. Is the flat player inside of me enough to where I can settle, or is he coming outside fast enough where I can work the second window? All right? And that's kind of the read that this guy has to have on the read slant, which is really the same read he has to have on the backside slant. Does that make sense? All right, here we're going to take a 1-step slant. He's going to go all the way over the ball, and he'll settle right there. All right. We run the double slant combination on almost all of our backside quick game. Okay, and the reason why we do that is because, number one, we like it versus man, we like it versus zone, we like it versus 3, we like it versus 2, we like it versus quarters, we like it versus everything. And number two is because our quarterback always knows what's going on backside. Okay, if he doesn't have numbers or something front side, he knows he's got something backside. He's made that throw a million times. Now he can get backside and make a decision and give a guy an opportunity to make a play. Okay, this is the play out of 3x1. What we're going to do is the same thing, okay? This guy now becomes the back. All right, does that make sense? So now we got a corner route right here. All right, again, front pylon is his aiming point. We want the angle to be high, let the ball bring in flat. We're going to have a read slant here. He's going to be patient. He's going to push 3 steps up the field, and he's going to read this guy right here. Okay? He is going to run a swing from a wide alignment. Okay? Now what we're doing backside is we let our quarterback do whatever he wants to do backside to this guy right here. Okay? If they plus the linebackers over to the 3 receiver side, there's no flat player here. A lot of times he'll give him an out route and throw the out. Okay? If the corner's outside leverage, all right, if the corner's outside leverage, same thing. We've got a backer blitz or something here. He's outside leverage and loose. He can give him a slant. If it's press, he can give him a vertical. We just kind of let him do what he wants to do backside here. Okay? The back is actually going to stay in on this, so this is one of the few times in our quick game we're going to have the back in, so we have 6-man protection here. Okay? The back's not going to free release. We just want him to get out late. Okay? So again, corner, read slant, swing, read what's going on. Catch the ball, get straight upfield. Okay, really simple little concept. I think everybody kind of runs something similar to this. Okay, and again, he's got to be patient on this slant so he can read what's going on. If he runs in there as fast as he can, it's going to be hard to see what's happening. It's going to be hard to see this guy trying to run with the corner out. Again, this goes back to what I was talking about earlier. I mean, who knows what kind of coverage this is? I don't know. Anybody here know?
It's got to be, man.
I mean, I think it's probably 3. But who's the flat player? I don't know. Who's the hole player if it's 3? Who knows?
Man under umbrella deep or something.
Yeah, about half the time I don't know anymore. Okay, key is catch the ball. And again, we want to get up the field and stress the defense as quickly as possible. Okay, here it is out of a 2x2 set. Okay, our back's going to take a little bit wider alignment. We don't want him all the way outside the tackle. We want him pretty wide, though. We want him about on the tracks of the tackle. Okay, he's going to do the same thing. He's going to push 3 steps. He's going to read this guy right here. Okay, our quarterback's going to read it high to low, so he's going to read it corner. Okay, corner first on the pre-snap. If he's got leverage, he's going to throw it. Okay, for example, right here. If this was cover 2, this is a hard corner here. All right, let's say the corner's down more. All right, safety's inside leverage. He knows right now he's probably going to take the corner out pre-snap. Okay? Let's say it's cover 2 and the safety's outside leverage, he knows right now he's not going to mess with the corner out. So it's a pre-snap read based on leverage, whether or not he's going to throw the corner. All right, then it basically becomes I'm reading him. If he widens with the back, then I'm throwing here. If he hangs here, then I'm going to throw the back. Pretty simple read. Now, again, this is kind of what happens with people. When you end up throwing a lot of this stuff where you're free releasing the back, see how they plus the backer? See how the backer's plussed here over the back? Now this is a great time to come back and throw backside slants here. All right?
They wasted 2 guys on play side over here.
Yep.
You got the corner and the...
That's a pretty good key for him to work backside now when the Mike's worked all the way over the back there like that. And again, for us, it's catch, set your feet, and get the ball out, okay? Okay, good look here. All right, now what we did here is we were running what we called PCP. Okay, and this is a bad read by our quarterback. Here's the first game of the offense. What we were trying to do was we told him, okay, if the safety's really wide, okay, you can run this guy in a PCP. So in other words, he's going to run like he's running the corner. Okay, he'll break to the corner and then he'll break underneath to the post. Okay, to try to get him to widen and get a throw up the hash. All right. Here, obviously, not a great place to throw it. Really ought to just go ahead and throw the corner based on where the safety's aligned. All right. Then what he's going to do, he's going to read what's happening. Better to run this to the field than to the boundary because it's just more grass for the whole player to play. And then what ends up happening, he ends up having to go to the second window and make the throw in the second window. First window's closed, second window throw. Okay, not really the way you draw it up, but worked out okay. Okay, really not a great decision again here. Something you got to work with your back on all the time is he has got to stretch it and stay flat. So the back's too far up the field here. He needs to stretch it, be on the same plane that he's on. We want to stretch all the way to the bottom of the numbers, not gain any ground. Okay? What that does is enable him to catch a ball and make a guy miss. Okay? If he's getting up the field too much, now when he catches the ball, he doesn't have enough grass. This guy's going to go tackle him. We're not going to get any yards. Okay? So again, critical for the back to be flat on his swing route. All right? Really, the quarterback here doesn't make a great decision. Ought to throw the slant. See, the ball ought to be right here, right now. When he sees him roll down, you got to throw it right there. This is stick. Been one of our better pass plays. This is a West Coast offense play. What we're going to do here is we're going to run exactly the same concept. We're going to do it with different people now. Okay? So we're going to get him where the Y was earlier. He's going to run a fade. Okay, we're going to run him to the inside shoulder of the defender, all right, and then he's going to make a decision to settle or to work back outside. Okay, now our back, instead of running a shoot, we're going to run him on a swing. Okay, we want it to happen a little bit faster because this play, this read happens faster. Okay, the other one took a little bit of time. The quarterback had to hold the ball for a second to read what's going on here. This read's going to happen fast. Okay, so our quarterback's going to catch the ball, and he ought to get the ball out of his hand immediately. So that's why we're going to run him on a shoot, is to stress the defense a little bit quicker just because the read's a little quicker. Even if it's in the boundary, yeah. We don't like to run it much into the boundary, but we will. Same backside slant combinations, backside. Okay, and really same reads. Okay, we're going to read the first ball first, and it's going to be just press coverage, no safety help. Don't want to throw it down the field. And then basically what we're going to do is read that guy right there. All right? Simple play. If you got a guy that can do this, I coached tight ends at Kentucky back in '99. We had a guy, James Whalen, was a walk-on for us. Didn't play at all his junior year, and then we had a couple of injuries. He ended up making first-team consensus All-American as a senior, and going into senior year, he was a third tight end. He was a guy who just made the most of his opportunity, and was probably 6'2", maybe weighed 215 pounds. And he wasn't real big and he wasn't real fast, but he was really, really a great technician. Went on and played in the NFL for about 2 or 3 years with the Cowboys just because he was one of those guys you told him to do it, he did it exactly the way you told him to do it every time. All right? The point of the story is he was our tight end, and he probably, I think he caught, I think it was 96 balls his senior year, which for a tight end was the most any true tight end ever caught in a year. I bet he caught 65 of those 96 balls were on the stick. He was just one of those guys. He was so good at the timing and the spacing and understanding how to set guys up and work them and understand the differences between man and zone and the nuances and all that type of thing. And what he started doing, which was a great idea, is we run mesh a lot and a lot of shallow cross. Anytime he had man coverage, he would sell mesh or shallow cross. So instead of being vertical on his angle, he would flatten it a little bit, and this guy would chase him, and he'd throw the brakes on and work right back out. Okay, and it became like a pivot route. Okay, and he started doing it on his own. You know, I took credit for it, but it was his idea, and you know, it became a really good play for us and something we've started teaching since then. Okay, this will be 3-by-1 stuff first. Nobody changes. Okay, So X on 3x1, he's got the vertical. Now this is our H, he's got the flat route, okay, just like the back had. Okay, and now he's got the stick route. Okay, and again, we're doing the same thing on the back side here, letting him do what the quarterback wants him to do. Okay, based on leverage of the corner and an underneath player. All right.
What's the depth on the stick?
Depth on the stick, you want him about 5.5 to 6 yards. Okay, he's not near deep enough. And again, this guy's a freshman that's playing for us, and everything he did was 2 steps too short. You know, if you told him to run a 7-step post, it was going to be a 5-step post. And it was just one of those deals where he had never played in a college football game before, and you know, he thought he had to do everything really fast. And so it was just, you know, and we kind of struggled with a lot of our receivers that way too. Again, him being a freshman, our tight end being a freshman. You know, it just took those guys a while to understand that, you know, some things you do fast, some things you do slow. And it was like I said earlier, the concept of getting covered early to get open late. Okay, and it took those guys a while to grasp that. Okay, again, we're going to leave the back in here so we have a 6-man protection. So he ought to push right at his inside shoulder and settle right there. Okay, you got to get more depth. And we ought to be throwing him the ball, really. Now, it's press coverage. This becomes just like pat and go, which I talked about last night. Again, he's going to get covered early, squeeze the route, get open late, get right back over the top, catch the ball over his outside shoulder. Quarterback got to get that ball out sooner. He's a little bit late getting it out. But see how simple that becomes where, see, and this is, again, the concept is, look at the most separation that occurs during this route is when he's catching the ball. See, there's no separation, now there's separation. Okay? And that's the concept of getting covered early to get open late. Okay, it's going to be the same thing here. Vertical, flat, stick. Okay, here again we went backside, and it was determined based on what was going on backside, numbers front side. Do I have an easy throw backside? Nobody's underneath, corners inside leverage. Okay, thinks the backer's coming, nobody underneath, corner inside leverage, throw the flat.
Number 2 does the stick there.
Yep, and it's the same guy doing the stick all the time. You know what I mean? We don't teach the only guys that are going to run the stick are our H and our Y. Okay, so if it's 3x1, it's going to be our H or Y doing it. Okay, if it's 2x2, it's going to be our H or our Y doing it. Okay, does that make sense? The only guy that's going to run the vertical is going to be Z or X. And that way, again, you know, your Z and your X aren't doing things that they don't do any other time. Okay, here's the stick. Same thing, he's too fast. We want to get him 2 steps deeper. The back's flat, quarterback's reading. Where can I go with the ball? Good job of getting it down to the back. And again, that's what this offense is built on, is throwing a 2- and 3-yard pass and a good player making something happen. Okay, again, our timing's not great. We're a little bit late on the throws. Routes aren't real precise. Again, those are things we're going to get fixed.
Was this year?
Yeah, that was this year. Yep, all backside stuff here. This is a weird game. We had, I think, close to 700 yards of offense and didn't score a lot of points. It was just got in the red zone, turned it over sometimes, and it was just kind of a weird game. We had a lot of yards, which that doesn't really get you anything. Okay, great job of seeing backside slant here, though. Okay, great job seeing this. Basically, he's going to read off of him. Okay. Didn't know the corner was going to come. Same thing here. See, and the critical part of this is the outside slant has got to understand that we don't want it to happen too fast. If it happens too fast, that doesn't give him time to react. We want to let this guy react to what he's doing. We want to give the quarterback an opportunity to see what this guy's doing. If he's chasing inside with him being outside leverage, this is where we want to go with the ball. Okay? But if he is running full speed in here immediately, not getting any kind of stem, not getting any kind of vertical push, now you can't get any kind of read on this player here and your quarterback's throwing blind. Okay, just enough of a window there. Okay, it's a good look here. Okay, now this becomes, you guys heard me talk last night, this becomes settle and noose. Okay? Where now the quarterback, the defenders, or the receiver's got his back turned to the defense, the quarterback's going to throw the ball to the shoulder away from the nearest defender. Okay, so let's look at this. Okay, this is the nearest defender. So when he settles, he has his back turned. He can't see what's happening behind him. So the quarterback needs to throw the ball on his inside shoulder, which is going to tell him, I'm turning away from this guy here and I'm going straight up the field. Okay? And those are the kind of details, again, the timing of the slants, the read of the quarterback, and the details of him having his back turned to the defense and throwing it here can make all the difference on how successful this play is. Okay? And that's the kind of thing you struggle with your first year when you're putting a new offense in. You're trying to get these guys on the same page is the little details, okay? And really, when you're talking about throwing quick game and not a whole lot of concepts, we don't run many quick game concepts. You have to really be able to execute them, and you got to be really good at them, okay? And those are the things that we've got to really improve on because our first year, we were horrible with the details. And those are the things that hopefully we can get rectified this year. It's like I told our players, there's no magic plays. I haven't shown you guys anything you haven't seen before. Hopefully, we've talked enough about some of the little details that we feel like make the play successful. But that's really the difference in football. It's not, to me, it's not plays and it's not, some great scheme. It's your players being able to execute and understanding, the little details and the little intricacies because they make all the difference. I think the key to that deal is you look at the New England Patriots. In the NFL, obviously, they do a lot of things. But Wes Welker played for us at Tech, and if you go and you talk to Wes, he says, hey, I don't do much. He says, they give me 3 or 4 different things that they feel like I can do. And me and Brady get on the same page. And what we do is he throws the ball quick. I'll run the route quick. He knows where I'm going to be. And as a result of that, a 5'9" guy that ran, 4.75 for the NFL scouts could end up being the second leading receiver in the NFL. And Wes Welker did that, and it's an amazing deal. And we take credit for him at Tech, but we weren't even going to give the guy a scholarship. The only reason we did is somebody backed out on us at the end, and we said, well, why not? He's better than nobody. He wasn't much better than nobody, but we thought he was better than nobody. Well, we were wrong. He was a heck of a lot better. He ended up coming in, starting as a true freshman, and being a great player for us. But he plays the game the way it's supposed to be played. He pays attention to all the details. He does everything with tremendous quickness and speed, and and plays with a great desire. And a guy like him can play in the NFL for the best team in the NFL, which is really pretty remarkable. I think we all get caught up in the numbers sometimes too much, and and forget sometimes that the game's about players and the details. Okay, the same thing here. We're no backs. Okay, vertical, stick, shoot, backside slant. Nothing changes. Okay? Just doing it with different people. All right, quarterback here. Did a good job of seeing the safety spin down. This guy's inside leverage. A lot of times they were jamming our receivers, and really what he was probably trying to do here, honestly, is make a hole throw. Okay, because what they were doing a lot of times in playing cover 2 is they were looking in the backfield pretty quickly. All right, so they were playing kind of head up, even inside leverage, getting their hands on this receiver, and then looking for somebody coming to the flat. And the safeties a lot of times were inside the hash, weren't getting a whole lot of depth. All right, so he's probably trying to make a hole throw here. Okay, they end up spinning the safety down. He probably doesn't see it, honestly, and takes a peek at him and sees that he runs by the corner. Okay, again, he needs to go throw it out there and let that guy go get it because he's got tremendous speed. Okay, now the problem with this right here is this. If we're going to run stick, and this is pretty important, he's got to reduce his split. See how wide he is? Okay, if he's this wide the back runs his chute, they end up on the same level, okay? And what's got to happen is, again, he needs to be right here, so when he runs a stick, now it's easier for the quarterback to read what's going on, okay? You guys see what I'm talking about? Now what we saw a lot of against these guys was a lot of Tampa 2, where the mic was getting out of there, and which gave us a lot of grass to work these sticks inside. Now what happened here is I think the quarterback changed the play at the line of scrimmage, so that's why his alignment's so wide. I think he saw Tampa 2, knew we could get the ball in here and check this play at the line. Again, he's going to run at his inside shoulder, want him to push 5 or 6 yards deep. He's a little too shallow. Open up, catch the ball, and get straight upfield. And again, now you're throwing a 4 and 5 yard pass, and if the balls get thrown on time, he turns the proper way and goes up and attacks the defense like he should. You know, a 4 or 5 yard pass ends up being a 10 or 12 yard play. Okay, here it is at 3x1. Okay, same concept. Or excuse me, out of no backs. Shoot, stick, vertical, double slant, backside. Okay, great place to work would obviously be backside here. That outside slant, backside would be pretty good. And again, we talk to our quarterback all the time. Where's the grass? A lot of grass right here. Okay, ought to work that. Ought to work the grass. Simplest play in football, and if you can execute it, I think one of the hardest to stop. Okay, that's pretty good job there. Okay, quarters is the best thing to throw this because the flat player in quarters is really in trouble. He's really in a bind. You know, he's really got to get out there. And this is a little different deal. This is that 3 double cloud stuff that we see some. But he's trying to really get to the flat to get on the back. And this is really a good job. Okay, you want the quarterback here really to throw the ball on his outside shoulder here. Once he's gone, he needs to understand, throw it away from the next defender coming underneath.
Throw us a little inside.
Yeah, throws a little late too. Yeah, throws a little bit late. We want that ball out, you know, right before he sticks his toe on the ground. And the throw being on time makes a big difference. If this throw's on time, believe it or not, he'll have a chance to score because he'll turn up the field, he'll avoid that linebacker, and that'll be on the safety. Okay, here's a wing set we ran quite a bit of last year. Nobody changes. Z runs a vertical. H is running the chute here. Now our tight end is going to run the stick, and if he's in a 3-point stance, we're just going to turn him out. Okay, back's going to check. He's still on his backside slant. Nobody really changes at all. Okay, pretty high percentage throw. Again, all he's got to do here is read him. Now he gets his hands on the tight end at all, he knows he's throwing the flat. If he widens with the flat, he knows he's throwing the stick. Okay, 3x1 here. And you can see as the year went on, we started executing things a little bit better. You know, everything's a little crisper, a little faster. Quarterback's getting the ball out of his hand a little faster. Guy's doing a better job of turning inside. And look here, after he catches this ball, look. Just turning inside gets him 4 or 5 extra yards. Okay, think about if the ball's thrown outside, he turns right into this backer here. Where's he getting tackled? Probably right here. You know, as a result of the ball being thrown inside, he's going to get an extra 4 or 5 yards on the play, which obviously makes a tremendous difference in the outcome of the game. Okay, here's the same thing with motion. Okay, again, all he's got to do, he's looking right here to this flat player. He's on Y, ball to the back. Same thing here, backside slants would have been pretty good. Okay, it doesn't get any simpler than this. We're talking about throwing a vertical and an out route to an inside receiver, okay? Something that we see in this league is a lot of quarters. Like Oregon will play quarters. All we're trying to do is make a leveraged throw here, okay? And this is a little bit like throwing a screen almost, all right? We're going to outside release and run vertical here. We're going to run a 5-yard speed out right here and double slant the 2 backside guys, okay? This is a check for us. This is a game plan thing for us. We'll go in some games and may throw this 8 or 10 times in a game. One week and not throw it any of the next week. Just depends on how they're going to play us up here, okay? But this is a way for us, again, to try to get the ball. They're going to try to cheat the guy into the box to help on the run like they do against everybody. This is a way for us to get the ball out on the perimeter. Okay, same thing, you know, you're getting a nice, simple, easy throw, getting a 10 or 12-yard gain. So you can kind of see my displeasure with the lack of the offsides calls. I think this is me right here. And I think this guy's offsides, and I'm saying some bad words to that guy.
What's the combo down here for?
Now this is one thing we added to it. We typically run double slant. What we started doing is people started playing guys over the tight end. You know, when our tight end started playing better, and what we did is ran a slant here and just put him on what we called Y flat, and basically trying to get a little pick play. Okay, and so this gave us an option. If we didn't have leverage front side, he could work backside and throw this kind of pick. It was a good little concept for us. Okay, good job throwing it. Based on leverage here, this leverage, he should have worked backside immediately. Okay, the ball had to go to this backside slant, really. Okay, but did a pretty good job of staying with it, fought to get an outside release. Was able to just get enough separation. Again, very simple throw, something you ought to complete a very high percentage of. Okay, here's a good job of working backside slants. Okay, roll down into the boundary, not going to have enough grass. Okay, dropping a zone blitzer out. What we tell our quarterback all the time when they drop a zone blitzer is pat the ball one time. Okay, so when he catches it, he sees somebody start to drop out, he'll pat it, and then he'll throw the ball. Okay, so what happens is he'll clear the zone blitzer and have a chance to make a play.
Do you attack that zone blitzer like he's doing there? Or?
As far as
Well, I'm trying to figure out why he would throw inside with the outside look.
part of the deal is because you're talking about why he didn't throw down here?
Yeah.
Part of the deal is this guy's inside leverage.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he figured he could leverage the safety here with the one-step slant better than he could leverage the corner with inside leverage. That's what you're hoping happens, you know. Hoping you throw a 2-yard pass and it turns into a big play. And you get to that again when the ball gets to the receivers quickly, then those guys have opportunities to make plays. And that's the thing we've got to improve the most, is getting the ball out of the quarterback's hand, getting it to him quickly, and letting them have some one-on-one opportunities instead of, you know, guys gang tackling. Same thing here, ought to work backside. See all this grass backside? Okay, he stays front side, ought to work backside. Okay, and he's got enough leverage where he can probably throw that front side. That's what he's thinking. Okay, hitch. We run the same 5-step hitch outside everybody does. We run our guys vertical inside, and we just try to get the ball thrown on time. Okay, we don't really do anything different than anybody else. You know, at Arizona, we're always open. You guys can always come to practice. You know, we don't feel like we got any secrets really. We'll share our ideas. And we always welcome coaches coming. Heck, I promise you, we learn more from you guys that come visit than we teach you. So we're always looking for people to come down and make yourself at home. We'll visit with you and let you watch as much film as you want and watch practice or whatever. Like I said, I appreciate you guys coming and spending a weekend here and being attentive and listening. And hopefully, you got an idea or two that's going to help make you a little bit better. And like I said, heck, whenever I get a chance to go to clinics, I always pick up 2 or 3 things that really help us. And I think that's if you can ever find 1 or 2 things that can help you, then it's worth attending. So again, thanks for your attention, and I look forward to seeing you next year. Thanks.
I hope you enjoy these videos put out by Championship Production, that they will bring you success and championships, and good luck to all of you.